short to see at Yamaha. Can they win their 500th Grand Prix? Yamaha front row, 28 laps circuit in Le Mans. It's the French Grand Prix, and we are underway.
Valentino Rossi got a superb start, pole position, as did Cal Crutchlow coming through. Zarco's going to get a bit swallowed up on the run down to the first corner. Marquez flies back. Zarco's going to move on the inside of it. He's the French Grand Prix.
We knew he would do it, and he has done it. The crowd are going completely crazy. They race down to take it back. Zarco says no thank you, with 104,000 people joining in the chorus.
Zarco leads then. Viñales right on his rear tire. There's Marquez, who came up a couple of places from 5th on the grid. There's Rossi in 4th. Rossi got a good initial launch away from the line. Turns 3 and 4. Petrucci looks like he's got away pretty well as well. Zarco then still leads from Viñales. Rossi's having a look up the inside of Rossi up into 3rd place.
Rossi up into 3rd place to come down the... Oh, a crash for Alvaro Bautista on the very first lap. Down towards the shot. Now into the left and right. And Zarco, yes, Zarco leads the way. Behind him, Dani Pedrosa's made a decent start. Come up towards the blue S's.
Alvaro Bautista, a disaster pick. Dani Pedrosa's a man right on the charge. Pedrosa's already picked up 5. Johan Zarco, soft front, soft rear Michelin tyre. He's going to have the extra performance at this stage of the race. It'll be crucial how he manages those tyres. Come over the line. Let's listen to the crowd. There's going to be a massive reception. Zarco leads at the end of the first lap here in Le Mans.
A 3. Who was the last one in the Premier class? I think it was probably Sylvain Gintley, was it, in the rain, who's riding in this race. And there is the unfortunately, well, before the end of half a lap of the race, under the famous Dunlop Bridge, they plunge down towards the Chapelle corner. They make progress on Andrea Dovizioso and Cal Crutchlow in front of him. 4th crash in 5 races for Alvaro Bautista. Then Viñales in rotation on Johan Zarco, but they do know that perhaps in the second half of the race, with their medium option tyres, both the factory Yamaha men, they might be able to 5th. Dovizioso 6th. Dani Pedrosa now up in a 7th place. Pedrosa's been the real man, scything his way through the pack early on in this race. To form what we would have probably expected, and I think the 2 factory Yamaha men won't be too unhappy, but they won't want Zarco to really get away.
The line, Johan Zarco, but he was super brave to mug Maverick Viñales going into turn number 3. Zarco knew with the soft option rear tyre, he would dictate the early pace of this race and to run his own rhythm, being behind Viñales and Rossi, who in theory should potentially be a fraction.
Yeah, they're just trying to keep that nice legal gap. Viñales and Rossi chasing the 10 between those towering grandstands either side of the track. They race at almost 300 kilometres an hour up towards the Dunlop chicane. Boy, did he prevent Viñales retaking the lead as they went down to La Chapelle on that very first lap.
Yeah, he needs one of those wide lows. He's a very hard man to overtake. If you pass Johan Zarco, you better make sure you make it stick, because he will try and retaliate immediately. He will try and snap. That was a run off at the Shimano-Berth chicane. He has a good look over his left shoulder, quite clearly not gaining any advantage there, the reigning world champion. So marching in 4th place. He's under no real great pressure at the moment from Cal Crutchlow. Pedrosa unable to find his way through, and Andrea Dovizioso at the moment as well.
In behind Maverick Viñales, they come up towards the Shimano-Berth S's once again. So Rossi has been second here for the last on 2 occasions. Took his first ever Grand Prix win here, 125cc class. It's not just his 4th Grand Prix. It's not for
he led the first 6 laps of his Moto GP debut on the opening night in Qatar. He'll be hoping it has a happier ending than that race. He's looking pretty comfortable at the moment, eking out an advantage of just over 0.6 of a second over Maverick Viñales.
Right, a little bit further down by Jack Miller running in 9th place. Across the line, Miller at 9th, 10th should be Paul Espargaro. It certainly is. Lorenzo, sorry, it's Aleix Espargaro in front of Paul Espargaro. No, we got it wrong. So Lorenzo has got in front in 11th. Paul Espargaro is now down in 3rd. Over Abraham Smith, Yononi Rabat. Sam Lowe's in 21st and Sylvain Gintley in 22nd place. And it's Alvaro and Zarco has set the fastest lap of the race, but he is not getting away. And I just get the feeling of Viñales and Rossi in this situation.
Yeah, they'll be happy to see that gap hovering around half a second to 0.6 of a second, because they know in theory that their tyres should have a bit more. Not really making any big inroads in towards these top 3 Yamahas. If anything, the top 3 Yamahas that started on the front row of the grid. Started to Barbara on the Realia Vinci Ducati. Has come into the pit lane. He's retired, the Spanish rider.
So 125cc world champion Barbara and Alvaro Bautista are out of the race.
Hervé Poncharal, nothing to do with his hands. He was rubbing his hair, rubbing his chin, rubbing his neck. He's absolutely, I don't think he's got any fingernails left. We've still got 24 left.
We're not made a great start actually in 15th place. That's what the crowd think. Zarco for president, say the planners in the grand bonus thing stand at the moment. We ride with him.
They're getting their dream results so far, aren't they, the French fans? Zarco and Rossi on the podium. That's what they've so comfortable at the front of this French Grand Prix at the moment. Bit of a wheelie as Viñales got on the gas out of that tight turn number 4. Eyes on Cal Crutchlow. Crutchlow fending off Dovizioso and Pedrosa in 5th at the moment.
That's the trouble with Dani Pedrosa, of course, don't you? But now he's come to a bit of a stop, hasn't he?
Oh, he's missed the bus.
Yeah, he has missed the bus. Yeah.
Quite strange. You can't start in 13 because the podium fighters, they're already checking out long gone into the distance.
This is down at the garage for corner. Dylan down
into pit lane. The team are a little bit perplexed, but it seems to be something happened to him out on track. I'll try and keep you guys posted.
Many thanks, Dylan. There is Zarco. The gap is around half a second, and as long as it stays like that, Vinales and Rossi will be quite happy. Rossi's making sure his theory is, I'll just stick behind Vinales and just see how this works out, as long as Zarco doesn't build up too big a lead.
Yeah, you're right. I haven't seen Zarco able to stretch away and use the advantage of that soft rear tyre in the first, 5 laps of this race. Rapturous applause. Has just fired in the fastest lap of the race, so 1:33.162 from the Repsol Honda man. So Marquez last time around was 0.3. Marquez is coming back into this.
Yeah, and that's interesting, isn't it? Because Vinales and Rossi realise this, they may feel that the pace...
And only in Austria last year, Zarco might just be thinking if he can keep the pace around the mid-33s, because he dropped into the low 33s. So I think the factory guys are going to have to be very aware of that he might just be conserving that soft for the final push.
Day to forget for Aston Picks. We've already seen his teammate Álvaro Bautista crash out on the very first lap, so they signed an extended deal with Ducati this morning on race day for Aspar Ducati.
22 and a half laps to go. Long way to go here in the French sunshine. A crowd of just under. Zarco leads the way, but the two factory Yamaha men are hunting him down. Vinales and Rossi look third place, and they are a little bit worried about Marquez, who's putting on a bit of pace now in 4th place on the Honda.
Moto 2 was that in the last 10 laps he was absolutely phenomenal at tyre preservation. Anybody that raced against Johan Zarco in those crucial final 5 or 6 laps was untouchable and unbeatable. Well, he's going to be put to the test here today because breathing down his neck are the two factors. Rob, Vinales is going to strike. Vinales is through at turn number 3. He takes the lead from Johan Zarco on lap number 7.
Take that back, he said. I think up towards La Chapelle. Rossi now prepares the bands, and Rossi will be very aware as well. But Vinales may try and sneak away at the front. Yeah. So Rossi already this season, but these two are...
Yeah. How much stress has Zarco already put on those tyres to run that hot pace at the front of this French Grand Prix? This is a golden opportunity now to try and put a bit of daylight between himself and Johan Zarco and Valentino Rossi in 3rd place. You're right, Nick. Close eye on that blue factory Yamaha, a couple of places ahead of him, because if Vinales can start making a bit of a gap, he's got to get through on
aware that Marquez is closing as well. No, Rossi's going to have to make a move quite soon, unless Vinales doesn't pull away at the front.
Exactly. I mean, Zarco.
Shimano Burf up towards the blue S's. This is where Zarco went down in a practice on Scotty. We had seminary practice 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was inevitable. That move was coming from Maverick Vinales. He just put in his personal best lap of the race at 1:33.239. He was a couple ahead of him. Cal Crutchlow's coming back into this.
Yeah, Crutchlow getting with it.
Vinales has ducked into the 1:32. 32.982. We expected, based on FP4 yesterday, race pace to be around the mid 1:33s. Well, Vinales is low dish, so he's trying to make that crucial break here. Vinales, Dylan.
Guys, a quick update. So with Hector Barbara, it was the engine that stopped, something the chain. There seems to be something wrong with the rear end of the bike when he was opening the gas. So both mechanicals.
Yeah, and a problem also for the Ducati GP6. Ducati's given up the ghost as well. Redding, that's a shame because he was running pretty strongly in that race.
Jack Miller's another man to look at this race. He's now crashed yesterday. I tell you what, it's all beginning to close up. Unfortunately for Scott Redding, he led the way in here for the Moto 2 class. This is getting very tasty at the front. And Rossi, I think, like this, is happy as long as the Marquez is closing on him all the time.
Yeah, Marquez is going to have a headache himself because if he looks over his shoulder, he'll get a face full of Cal Crutchlow. Now, Cal Crutchlow almost see Marquez up for that one as well. Marquez this time around going for the medium. Now, Crutchlow has had to wait, the first 5-6 laps for that prime working temperature. Now it should be nicely up to working temperature for Cal Crutchlow, and in the second half of the race, that hard front could be one circuit. It's all stop and go, some really severe, harsh braking zones, and with that hard front tyre, Cal Crutchlow in that second half of the race, mileage
315 kilometres an hour as they tipped into the right-hander for Maverick Vinales. Up now at the Dunlop chicane. That's why they overtook him on the brakes on the first lap. Dylan.
Guys, with Scott Redding, I think initial thoughts are could be a gearbox problem.
Many thanks. It's Crutchlow, you can see Davizio Pedrosa also in the picture. Maverick Vinales at the front. Zarco holding firm.
Yeah, you can see there the white banded soft front tyre on Johan Zarco's Yamaha, bit of a wheel. That's white banded soft rear tyre as well. How crucial is that tyre choice going to be? We've got a long way to go here in Hervé Poncharal right now.
He's a man that doesn't get too excited. We just saw him there, the creatures, of course, of here is Crutchlow, Davizio Pedrosa.
So what Cal Crutchlow will have with that hard option front tyre is awesome braking with a port on that front tyre. What he won't have is the turning performance of those around him who've got the medium or the soft tyre on. So it's always a compromise. Cal Crutchlow tends to always favour that hard option front tyre. Rossi has just put in his personal best lap of the race, so 1:33. This stage what we anticipated.
It is. They're having to run a top pace. I tell you, Rossi's going to make a move soon. Yeah, because Rossi's worried about Vinales.
Of almost half a second.
Where will Rossi make his move? Closes up at La Chapelle, up towards the museum corner. She's up to the museum, the left-hander, at the top of the hill.
See Zarco with that soft option rear tyre, and he gets it hooked up pretty well coming. There's no real sign at the moment that Zarco's having any sort of drop in grip conditions.
And a carriage for again. We ride with Valentino Rossi, but Zarco right in front of him. Would he try to take him on the brakes at Shimano Burf? I think that would be a brave. We're about to find out. They come up towards the Shimano Burf SS. No, he doesn't. And Marquez all the time closes up on Rossi. The way.
Well, Rossi owes Zarco a couple of overtakes, doesn't he? Someone else did it, correct? Yeah. They've swapped a bit of paint over the last couple.
Right, through the blue S's, record them on this double apex right on the brakes. Rossi may have a go, but the crowd, so there's been being overtaken now by Dani Pedrosa. So Vinales and Zarco's putting a stonking lap.
Fastest lap of the race, and Marc Marquez on lap 10 has dived into the 132s. That's the fastest lap of the race from Marquez, 132. On that medium Michelin option, just like Vinales and Rossi. Dani Pedrosa has finally found a way through the Andreevich. So Dani Pedrosa, next in his eye line will be Cal Crutchlow. Pedrosa then up in a 6th.
Right, let's quickly run through the field before it gets Zarco, Rossi, Marquez, Crutchlow, Pedrosa, Vizioso, Miller, Lorenzo, and top 10. Nathan Spargo, Volker, Tony, Rabat, Lowe's, and Sylvan Gintley. Mechanical problems for Redding and Abraham and Barbara, and a crash.
Made a mistake on this lap number 11 because all of a sudden he's dropped behind Pedrosa and Vizioso. So Crutchlow, who came over the line in 5th place. He made a mistake up at the first corner, up at turn 2 or 3, but what's not up for debate is Crutchlow lost.
Pedrosa goes now with a bit of clear track in front of him when he can't make any impression on the 4 riders in front of him, including, of course, his rear wheel now of Valentino Rossi. But everybody seems happy at the moment because Vinales is not broken.
Last time around, Vinales and Zarco both back into the high 132s. Here is Crutchlow then up at that first corner. Back to Lorenzo. Jack Miller is riding on pure adrenaline. This is pure adrenaline from Jack Miller. He is so battered and bruised after that monster. He's doing a great job in 8th place. He's one of only 4 riders actually in this field on the soft combination with, of course, the man.
There's a brave ride up by Miller. Lorenzo, well, 9th place. Probably the best he's going to do in this race if he gets past Jack after the success in Jerez. That's your leading 4. Dani Pedrosa and Andreevich, so then a bit of a gap now back to Cal Crutchlow.
I'm hand over fist here. He came over the line, he did a 1:34.7. He was almost 2 seconds a lap slower than your race leader Maverick Vinales, Pedrosa and Marquez. The gap between Marquez in 4th and Dani Pedrosa in 5th. Let's have a check on that. It's 1.7 seconds. Pedrosa has definitely got time on his side. The question, has he got the pace?
Great helicopter shot.
Yeah, Rossi was a bit wild.
There's pressure now from Marc Marquez.
Just got in a bit hot there on the brakes at turn number 8, garage there, Rossi, and that's given all the incentive to...
He certainly can be right with Rossi. That's Marquez right behind him. In front of them is Johan Zarco and Maverick Vinales. Rossi and Marquez. 3 up the hill on the brakes into the Dunlop chicane.
Another fastest lap of the race from Maverick Vinales, 1:32.872. But he of Johan Zarco, he's doing everything within his power here, Vinales, to try and open up a bit of daylight. But Johan Zarco, he's like a
little French terrier. That's exactly what he is. Great ride by Zarco. Rossi just having problems. Dropped a little bit by Zarco. This is Dani Pedrosa. It'll be interesting to see the gap between him and Marquez as we progress.
Spoke too soon about in a 1:33.065. This might be why he dropped from 5th to 7th. Oh, well, that's exactly why he dropped from 5th to 7th, because he got a massive... You don't normally see Dani Pedrosa...
You don't, do you? Wow, he did get a back, didn't he?
Dani Pedrosa's got the gloves off. Crutchlow lost a couple of places. He was given more than a helping hand. He was given a helping left foot, helping left knee, helping left hip.
Back at all of his double apex right into the start and finish. Everybody in the grandstands are on their feet. There will be 15 lap French Grand Prix here at Le Mans. The crowd just under 105,000. Every one of them on their feet, cheering the man in 2nd place.
Personal best laps last time around for Rossi, for Pedrosa and for Vizioso. Pedrosa's the man to keep a very close eye on here because Marquez has 1.8 seconds, and in the space of 2 laps, Pedrosa has already found half a second. Dani Pedrosa into the 1:32s lap now. They drifted his teammate Marquez.
Up the hill they come to the museum corner. This is Zarco. Will that pay off? You look at this start. If you had any thoughts that Zarco didn't mean business, they would be immediate cane in the first lap.
Nothing was going to stop Johan Zarco leading this first lap, was it? He got brilliant position up the inside, about maybe outgunning him on the switchback through turns 3 and 4. Got to say, Marc Marquez got a pretty good launch there from the side of Valentino Rossi, but here comes Johan Zarco, on board with Vinales, and Zarco's going to majestically sweep up the inside at turn number 3. He makes
Le Mans, isn't it, coming into that chicane? He positioned himself quite beautifully there. Johan Zarco
taking a candy off the...
Perhaps for him, not for me. I don't think.
Here's Jorge Lorenzo, then has finally found his way through on Jack Miller. Valentino and Pedrosa have just exchanged fastest laps of the race. Rossi 1:32.670. We said about Dani Pedrosa being the man to keep up, taking another 3/10 out of Marc Marquez. Dani Pedrosa then just 1 second behind his teammate in 4th place, and Rossi is just...
There you go, there are the leading 4. That's the helicopter shot. We now ride with Dani Pedrosa. He's got clear track in front of him, find his way through, but now with a bit of clear track, the Jerez winner in these conditions could be a very likely podium.
So much time, we're only at half race distance, there's still 14 laps to go, 14 down of what so far has been encapsulated.
Talking about gripping, Dylan, are those softer option tyres of Zarco going to stay the distance?
I only put in 19 laps in succession on those tyres. He knows how they're going to behave. Maybe there's a little question mark about the final few, but Lane, I would say that he can certainly last the distance. He might just drop off a tiny little bit in performance if he hasn't conserved them.
Well, we ride with Zarco behind him, Valentino Rossi and Marc Marquez.
Well, let's be honest, Johan Zarco has been able to chase so far. Rossi's not been close enough to show Zarco even a front wheel. Vinales and Zarco 1:32.7. It was absolute last time around. Marc Marquez again on another hot lap. He won't let Valentino Rossi relax in 3rd place. Dovizioso in 6th. Cal Crutchlow is really struggling. He's in the mid-133s now. Crutchlow's dropped 2 seconds behind Dovizioso.
Graphics there. They're swapping lap times. They're and they're everywhere on the track. They are, but they're equal, aren't they? In every single.
Marquez de Pedrosa is under a second for the first time. Andre Dovizioso hasn't been able to go away and keep the momentum and the brilliant pace. Pedrosa knew he had pace. That's why he made that. You don't see Danny Pedrosa making contact when he makes overtakes too often in his Grand Prix career, but he knew that he's got the Crutchlow, so it was a case of I'm coming through regardless.
That, as you said at the time, is very unlike Danny Pedrosa, isn't it? Now, if it was Johan Spector to bang their way through a little bit, but not Danny Pedrosa. It's great to see Pedrosa in this sort of form. I thought he was absolutely brilliant in a race. The page, doesn't it, to the chapter on Moto GP.
We're talking about Danny Pedrosa being a podium contender. Danny Pedrosa is fighting. He's only 2.7 seconds behind Maverick Vinales. There's still 12 laps to go. Marquez again fires in another PB lap. 130 is absolutely sensational here in Le Mans. All of the top 5 were in the mid to high 132s, which is almost a second pace would be based on FP4. And let's not forget, yesterday in FP4 it was cooler. There's hotter conditions. It just shows how much grip these Michelin tyres are performing, because we've got a cracking race, my hands here.
Well, there's the championship positions, and Vinales would take over the lead in the championship. This race, I tell you, hasn't even started yet, has it? It's going to be this last 5 laps. I think they're going to be explosive. Unless Vinales can get away at the front. And certainly what we've seen so far, he hasn't been able to get away from Zarco or Rossi. Marquez has responded with those faster laps.
Rossi just can't get within those sort of 8, 9, 10 bike lengths. Rossi must be looking at dropping on soon.
Rossi's in chunks, yeah. Hard work for Vinales at the front. Not easy in these races the whole time. We saw a classic example of how you can do it from Danny Pedrosa in a race when he led all the way with Mark. 3 riders at him.
He's a cool, composed and calculated customer though, Maverick Vinales. Again, only Marquez last news. Pedrosa now is within half a second of Marquez. Vinales through this tight turn. There's a pit bull very soon saying that your teammate is looming large in the background. Oh, Marquez has crashed. That's a disaster for the champ. French Grand Prix, out of 4th place. That's his 3rd fall this weekend, Nick, at turn 3.
Yeah, and his 2nd success hit Marquez. Marquez out of the race at the Dunlop chicane. Danny Pedrosa now moves up into 4th place.
Lucky for Marc Marquez because he lost it going through the right-hander. Jack Miller did the same thing yesterday, and of course he went veering off to the right. Marc Marquez, absolutely no warning whatsoever as he went through that super fast turn number. Massive moment in the 2017 Moto GP World Championship. The 2nd race crash in 5 for Marc Marquez.
Over.
Now then, Danny Pedrosa is in 4th place. He's just under 2 seconds behind time there, because he might have actually just had to jam the anchors on himself when he saw Marquez.
I think he would have definitely.
They were just preparing the pit board for Marquez to stay. Pedrosa was coming. Vinales got the pit board there straight away. Maverick Vinales' crew. Marquez out.
Now Danny Pedrosa would move up into 3rd place in the championship. Vinales would take over the lead. Pneumatic laps to go, and it's closing up at the front all the time.
I don't know whether that Marquez crash might have just spooked Danny Pedrosa a little bit. He's on that same combination tyres. Here is Marc Marquez, very out of 4th place in the French Grand Prix. Rossi now about to get the Marquez out single. Danilo Petrucci's retired. It's been an awful day. 3 retirements, both Pramac Ducati riders out. Scott Bunning and Petrucci. Calabria retired as well.
They are at the Shimano Buff S's, so that means there's 9.5 laps. Vinales still leads the way. They are confirmation of what Matt's just told you. Danilo Petrucci retired. Carol Abraham all retiring on those satellite Ducatis. Valentino Rossi still in 3rd place. Markedly okay, but a massive blow to his championship chances.
He's already had to ride back through the paddock once this weekend. He won't be doing. Marc Marquez knows that was a crucial mistake, a massive dent in his championship. We're looking at Aleix Espargaro. This is 9th place. He's ahead of Jonas Folger in 10th.
Loris Baz going well in 11th. Tito Rabat and Bradley Smith. Sam Lowe so close to his 1st championship points of the season in 16th place.
Yeah, Andrea Iannoni's just taken 11th place from Loris Baz. Let's not forget the factory Suzuki was on the podium here 1 year ago with Maverick Vinales for the top 6 this weekend. Iannoni then down in 11th place.
A sad end for Marc Marquez. What is happening at the front?
You cannot get rid of Zarco.
You can't. He is the terrier. He's snapping all the time.
It's just testament as well to his smooth riding. Great grip in those soft option tyres. There is Marc Marquez. Now he is going to be absolutely furious and frustrated. Have 2 DNFs in the first 5 Grand Prix. It's a massive hole in his championship challenge.
I think you're right. It has dented Danny Pedrosa's challenge to avoid Marquez.
Yeah, it gives Valentino Rossi a bit of a buffer. He can now sort of focus entirely on trying to work out a way. Being hounded pretty hard by Marc Marquez. Cal Crutchlow is talking hounding, putting real pressure now on Andrea Banks. Crutchlow thought about a move up the inside of Dovizioso at turn number 3.
The Ducati teammates as well.
They work to the very well. Yeah. We're just talking about Aleix Espargaro, Nick, in 9th place. Aleix Espargaro always says that Aprilia is a Sunday bonus, and Aleix Espargaro proving that point. He's just put in a personal best lap of the race, a 1:33.167. That was only 2/10 of a lap. Zarco and Rossi.
Back at the front. Well, let's still have a look at going slow. He's gone up the ins, has taken back 5th place. He had a fair old whack in the battle with Danny Pedrosa earlier in the race.
Zarco for quite some time now. The quickest of this trio last time around was Valentino Rossi by about a 1/10 and a half.
And Zarco is going to have any chance of catching Vinales at the front. He closes right up on the Recordamont corner, into the start and finish, up between those grandstands, the noise of the crowd echoing in there.
That there was clear daylight for the first time in a long time between Vinales and Zarco. The reason why is because Maverick Vinales is on lap record pace on lap 20. Yamaha's top gun, a 1:32.621, and for the first time Vinales has stretched his advantage to over half a second. Find a way through on Zarco very, very quickly.
He's going to have a go very, very soon indeed. Valentino Rossi up through La Chapelle, up towards the view. Number 5 versus 46, the museum corner, then they plunge downhill towards the garage for on the brakes. As Rossi closing in, that familiar right leg goes out to steady the factory Yamaha for Rossi, closes up again. Well, and those soft option tyres, didn't he?
To be fair to Zarco, whenever Vinales has threatened to make a break, Zarco has been able to retaliate. 6.5 laps to go to be writing Zarco out of this victory battle. He's still right there, although Vinales has taken out another 10 to get.
We ride with Rossi, that's Zarco in front of him. You just see the race leader past the entrance to pit lane, now towards the Recordamont corner. He's just making the move, Valentino Rossi. He's got to get closer. He's going to do it up at the Dunlop chicane. He's going to do it at Garage Vert. He's going to do it
heading for a Yamaha lockout of the podium. The last time we saw one manufacturer clean sweep the podium was Yamaha. Done it. Yeah, Valentino Rossi. That's a brilliant move up the inside of Zarco at turn number 3. So Rossi has pounced. He had to pounce. Vinales then, in terms of his own victory challenge. What can Zarco do?
Don't rule out Zarco in this situation. We ride with Valentino Rossi in the second place up at the museum corner. Zarco on the brakes. For a 1 millisecond he thought about it and thought no. Even going towards the Garage Vert corner.
Yeah, I was just about to say Phillip Island 2014 was the last time one manufacturer took a clean sweep of the podium. Jorge Lorenzo, Valentino Rossi, and Bradley Smith, wasn't it? Was on the podium.
Yes, it was. Yeah, when Crutchlow crashed on the last lap, didn't he?
Now then, what's he got left in those soft option tyres? Because Valentino Rossi now is leading the charge towards Maverick Vinales already with 5 and a bit laps to go here in Le Mans.
Yeah, I think Rossi's probably got the pace to stay in front of Zarco. Has Rossi got the laps to go? And it'll be interesting to see what the gap is when they crossed the line last time round. Well, it was a nearly 9/10 Vinales. What is it this time?
Vinales again and Rossi. The pair of them have come over the line, trading lap records. 5:37, the new lap record. This is going to get pretty tasty, I think, in these last 5 laps. And Johan Zarco hanging right on in there. This was the move for Rossi on Zarco at turn number 3.
Classic overtaking manoeuvre at the done into Vinales on the very first lap of the race. That's what the Rossi fans think about it. Keep an eye on those.
Rossi's fan on the 10.
And yeah, he's just eking away, isn't he, at that lead? And there's still 4.5 laps to go. Good performance by the 38-year-old.
You're absolutely right, Nick. If Rossi comes through to win this race and goes to Mugello leading the World Championship, we've got to set off right now. The French resistance from Johan Zarco might be over here because he's. That looks like it's going to. Oh no, poor old Aleix Spargaro, factory Aprilia. He just passed Jack Miller for 8th place. I tell you what, this is turning into a real race of attrition. We've seen quite a few retirements.
That's the gap. It's a 1/10 of a second here, it's a 1/10 of a second there, and there is still 4.5 laps to go. They're just going to end this lap. 4 laps to go when they cross the line.
Rossi another lap record. Rossi took 3/10 out of Vinales. 1:32.373. That's over a second quicker than what we anticipated race pace to be.
15 years younger than Valentino Rossi, and Rossi is hunting him down. Vinales will not give up the lead without one. I hope they thought, right, podium finish here, my first podium in Moto GP at Le Mans, it would be pretty decent.
Well, Johan Zarco has been nothing short of sensational.
Right up on him.
Rossi's corner speed through turn number 7 was far superior to Maverick. Actually kept a little bit more live on his medium combination. He's on exactly the same motorcycle as Vinales, exactly the same tyre.
Shimano Buff S's 3.5 laps to go. Vinales and Rossi first and second in the World Championship. Rossi closes up on the chicane. Now they race down towards the blue S's. Rossi has got Vinales in his sights.
Yeah, Rossi's got to pass Vinales to his backyard in Mugello. We said Danny Pedrosa's challenge was over yet. He's dropped right back out of that contention. Danny Pedrosa, he obviously burned up his tyre. There's tension mounting in the factory yard. Yamaha garage, tension building in the grandstand, tension building here in the commentary box as well. This could be a clash.
There's an hour they race between those towering grandstands up towards the Dunlop chicane. Is Rossi going to make a move now? He's not quite close.
He's going for it. Vinales sweeps from the outside. There was a little bit of contact there. This is like the good old days. Rossi versus Lorenzo. This time around it's Rossi leads the French Grand Prix. The crowd are going absolutely ballistic here in Le Mans.
What a race we have got. Third World Championship by 7 points. Rossi sends reverberations throughout the world.
To streak away from Maverick Vinales. What has Vinales got left? Straight away, Rossi through the second sector was able to eke out a 3. Still hanging on there. He's dropped back by over a second.
He's breaking him.
He's breaking him straight away. Rossi's kept the life in those tyres. Can be 2 and a bit laps to go.
Through the Shimano Buff S's they come. Valentino Rossi leads the French Grand Prix. He has been he could increase his lead in the World Championship, going in to one of the biggest Grand Prix of the year, one of the biggest sporting events, go into Mugello, leading the World Championship. What has Maverick Vinales got to say about that with 2 laps to go?
Here in Le Mans, brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen at home. This is going to potentially be an absolute cracker. Vinales did pick up a bit of pace as they can stretch the imagination. This is where Rossi made that crucial move, that crucial attack for the lead last time around at turn number 3.
Well, I'm sure it's not close enough at the moment. Can he get close enough to do it on the very last lap? La Chapelle corner, the bottom of the hill, up them corner. The crowd are going absolutely crazy. 105,000 fans here.
Rossi's got brilliant corner speed and great drive grip coming out of turn number 7. We saw him close in on Vinales a couple of laps on the edge of the tyre. Seems to have just a little bit better grip than Vinales.
Now can Vinales close the gap as they come down towards the Shimano Professor? If he's going to have a go, I think it'll be up at the Dunlop chicane on the very last lap. Mistake by Rossi, but he still hangs in there.
It was the Shimano chicane. He couldn't keep the throttle on at full pedal because he knew he would be penalised for taking under. An unforced error being forced out of him by Valentino Rossi's pace at the front. Vinales though still right there. He's not cracked just yet.
2.600 miles of this legendary Ducati circuit. He's not going to be close enough. Maverick Vinales. Was a mistake by Vinales that could have cost him dear.
27 laps of pulsating action here in Le Mans. And Valentino doing a lap of 1:32.3 down through La Chapelle. What have we got? 8 corners left of this fantastic for Rossi as he squeezes on the power. He knows Vinales is right there on his shadow.
This is where he's so strong, Valentino Rossi, coming out of the museum corner, and that is going to be absolutely crucial. Strong he is again. So come down the hill towards the right-hander.
Defensive line. Valentino Rossi tried to cut a tight defensive line and he got it too hot. Is that a crucial late mistake by Rossi?
Corner to Rossi, get back at him. A rare mistake by the 9-time world champion. They close up. It's left, and now it's right.
The Cordemon, surely Rossi's not close enough at the blue S's. It will have to be turns. Now Rossi's down. Valentino Rossi's crashed out of second place.
Okay, Maverick Vinales will win the French Grand Prix. What a race we have witnessed once again. Vinales wins. Maverick Vinales takes over the lead in the World Championship.
What an unbelievable French. Maverick Vinales with a record lap on the final lap, pressurising Valentino Rossi into a real champion. There is Rossi. Johan Zarco, a fantastic first Moto GP podium. What a place to do it in front of his own crowd. Danny in 3rd place, Dovizioso 4th, Crutchlow 5th, Lorenzo in 6th place. Lorenzo with the personal best lap on the last lap as well. Folger.
Rossi realises that it's no world.
Look at that young man there.
Oh, look at that.
In tears.
Oh, what a race. There's 2 mistakes, wasn't it? One at garage put Vinales in the lead.
The key mistake for Rossi was a garage vet. Line ran in hot. I tell you what, you do not see Rossi make those kind of mistakes in last lap battles. He is normally.
Anda benar jam 2 hanya di